Today's topic, how to start a fight. 3 simple lessons in the art of starting shit. Please try and pay attention.
There are going to be future problems with this asshole.
We at the FCC feel that democracy is all about protecting the rights of the ordinary citizen. Unregulated radio would result in programming of the lowest common denominator, the rule of the mob.
I remember when I went and saw Pigpen play there, and they threw a trash can from the upper balcony into the middle of the mosh pit.
Yeah, we appreciate you listening to it through us first or second.
Yeah, they don't even have an album out. I'm thinking these guys are really just there to make some money. It was a sold-out show.
Well, yeah, and this is horrible. Maybe they're for a pirate.
All right, well, fucking suck it. Loud, fast, and shitty.
I have a competition in me. I want no one else to succeed. I hate most people.
It starts out as a runny nose and maybe as a throat. Pretty soon you're coughing with that finger in your mouth. If you're sick or wrong, you're vulnerable the most. 'Cause I'm the coronavirus, motherfucker. Wash your hands. Stop. Coronavirus. I am not coronavirus. I am not coronavirus. I'm coming for you all. Fuck you. I was born in China with some big shit around. Pretty soon I was moving and spreading fucking fast. Now in America, we'll teach you attack. So better hide your granny. She looks tasty. I am the coronavirus. I am the coronavirus. I am the coronavirus. So fuck you and fuck all you there. COVID-19, bitches. Yeah. Better go! Self-quarantine yourself! Since your dad's not president, didn't get those tests that fast enough, now I'm everywhere! Oh yeah, baby! And I'm undetected! Baby! Question for you all though. Why all the toilet paper? It's fucking weird. And this is coming from me. A little tiny microscopic droplet of a virus. But I'm still flexing on you all humans. Watch this shit. Stock market crash. That's me. March Madness canceled. Me. Disneyland's closed. Again me. Coachella postponed. Me. Coronavirus.
All right, it's Bob Noxious, loudfastshitty.com, and none other than Joe Nelson, who I've got with me live via Skype from Los Angeles, California. Joe, you've gone viral,
What's up, brother?
and it's in a good way. Tell me a little bit about this COVID-19 project that you've put together and this video that you've done.
Yeah, it's going to be huge. Well, yeah, I mean, I think I live in LA, so we were on lockdown on March 9th. I think we got kind of in lockdown mode. And a buddy of mine, a guy named Brian Balchak, he plays guitar and Ignite and stuff. We're good friends, and he's a video whiz. He hit me up like on a Friday, so about a month ago, and goes, "Hey man, if I wrote a riff and sent it to you, could you do vocals?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess. What else are we gonna do? We're sitting here." So he wrote that fucking great riff, which is a great riff. Sent it to me. I listened to it on my computer with headphones and then sang the vocals in one tank, which I wrote over the phone on a voice memo. And then I sent that back to him and he put the song together. And then we started coming with clips together, and me and him worked on that video for like a week and then dropped it. And there you go. That's COVID-19. One hit wonder.
It's amazing. Yeah. Taking the world over by storm. It's amazing how quick you put it together in just the times. When did you guys start talking about this? And from the time that you started talking about it, how long until you released this virus?
Yeah, that's funny. I think we started talking about it, dude, in February about how there should be a punk band when it was called COVID-19. Like, that's a great name for a punk band, COVID-19 and blah, blah, blah. But like everything, like you're a punker, you just talk, nothing ever happens. Everyone just talks about stuff, nothing ever comes. And then once we were in lockdown, like I said, he sent me that riff. I think it probably took 2 weeks because like he's got kids and he's busy. But like I think it took about 1 week to make that video together, and we would just kind of be up at night passing the files back and forth and finding shit on YouTube and go, this is funny, no, this is funny. And like, you know, so that video's been out like about a week, a little over a week now. It's been dropped. So yeah.
So are you able to track any of the analytics? How many, you know, download or views and whatnot?
Well, so Matt Skiba and Toby Morris blasted it on their Instagram, and they had a lot of followers. So between those two dudes and Walter Streifels and Sam Sigler, Sammy Sigler, they dropped it. So I think we've got about a couple 100,000 views now all around, but it's hard to tell now because so many people, it's like any video, like someone's like grabbed it and put it up and they'll get like 2,000 views. So, well, I mean, I don't care. I just thought it was funny. It's punk rock. And I just thought it was like, you know, like we were a little nervous at first because it's a little touchy, you know, and it's just like, it was kind of when Italy was starting to like really fall apart, and we're like, so we kind of leaked it a little bit for a couple days and got feedback, and everyone was really positive because this is really funny. I'm like, okay, well, let's put it out. And then what was really great is a bunch of Italian punker kids hit me up the first day it was out and was just like, hey man, this is so funny. It makes us laugh. First time I've laughed in a long time. And so like, then I was like, okay, this is cool, man. Everyone's like, we can walk and chew gum at the same time. It's like, we can be empathetic and still like try to have some laughs, you know?
How are you guys handling yourself over there? You over there in California, you've been locked down since early March, and here we are, early April, coming up on a month. You know, we're here in Florida. We've been locked down for I guess about a week and a half, and now the governor says the whole state is, and yada yada. What are you guys doing 1 month into this? 3 weeks in?
Yeah. What are we doing? What are you guys doing? It's like the first week was really tough because the first week it was like I was just stir crazy. Now I feel like I'm in a groove. Like I'm at my girlfriend's house now, so I stay between my house and her house. But like for the most part, like just kind of working. Like I have this band called Triggerman that had been working on a record for a couple of years. And it's got Derek O'Brien from Social Distortion and DI, and Brett Rasmussen from Ignite, and me and this guy Gavin Oglesby, who's from No Pronouncer, and me and him are in Triggerman. So we have a record we're mixing, and we're just like, fuck, you know, that's something to do. So we'll be mixing a record for a couple of weeks just to do that, and then like everyone else, man, just trying to survive and pay my bills and, you know, ride this out. I mean, this is unprecedented in history, in our history. It's crazy.
You know, I try not to listen too much to the news because it can really get skewed and whatnot. But tell me, you know, how it is as far as I mean, are the numbers going down with you guys staying in, or because really bad? I know.
Well, we're not as bad as New York, and unfortunately, I think you guys are going to go past us pretty quick. I think right now, I think there's 10,000 cases or 12,000 cases in California. Most of them are in LA County where I live, and then I want to say we're still at a 400, 500 death rate, which sucks, but I guess that's, you know, it's better than New York. And so hopefully that flattens out. But it's hard to tell, man. Like, who knows? Like, I get you not watching the news. Like, it's just like a bunch of misinformation, especially when fucking Trump speaks. Like, then it's like, oh, okay, I'm supposed to be wearing a scarf. Like, that was what we said yesterday. Like, wear a scarf. That'll, like, give me a break.
I think that's the new order right there.
Yeah.
We all got to wear a scarf. You know?
We gotta wear a scarf. And I think just trying to stay sane. Like people, like I talk to a lot of my friends, and I'm sure like you got your podcast. Like just keep being creative and trying to like reach out to people. And like it's a new world we live in. It's a new reality. Like however we come out of this, we will never be the same. There will be a course correction in one way or the other from this. So.
I've been saying that, man. You know, my day job is in the audio video field, and you know, with all the different ways that people can connect, and there's always been Skype and whatnot, like we are, but like now Zoom, and you can get 100 people in a room together just talking, and that's kind of my bread and butter. And new world, like you say, coming out of it, you know. So we'll see where it all ends.
Yeah, and I just feel for everyone. Like I've been in the music business my whole life, and I've been in bands, I've been a roadie, and I've worked at clubs, and like. You're in a music space. I mean, we're punkers, obviously, and stuff. So it's like my heart's really to the bartenders and the barbacks and the waiters and the crew people. And like the one thing I talk to people in this business all the time is we got to come out of this. Like there's got to be a better safety net for hourly workers and vendors and people who are in the music community because they were the first ones to be out of work with no safety net, just paycheck to paycheck living and like, good luck. Here's $1,200. Make it last. And that's not right. That can't happen.
Oh man, no. It's we could go on and on about that, man, but trying to keep it somewhat light when we're talking about COVID-19.
Yeah. You're trying to be fun. You're trying to be fun. Let's not get too down the rabbit hole. But yeah, I mean, those are things I think about, man. Like, of just how are we better coming out of this? Like, how are we more empathetic? And I think I'm pretty empathetic too. But how do we make sure that everyone's safe coming out of this? You know.
It's going to be weird. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
What kind of hate have you got from this video?
Nothing really. I mean, everything's been positive. I'm sure people don't like it. I'm sure there's some people who feel it's like I don't think my mom and my aunts and uncles like it. They're usually very supportive. I haven't heard a peep out of them, so they must think it's pretty awful. But you know, the way I look at it is, look, man, if you watch the video and listen to the words, that's the coronavirus singing. That's not me. It's the coronavirus singing. The coronavirus is a fucking asshole, if you can tell. And so when you kind of frame it in that perspective, I feel it gives you some sort of kind of artistic liberty. Not to get, it's one thing to, there was a lot of backlash on people jumping on social media and actors and people and like sending mixed messages and being in your mansion, telling everyone just like ride us out and be safe and like, and being a little tone deaf. And I look at like, it's different when you make a kind of a comedic statement and you're acting like you are the coronavirus. Because like I said, you can walk and chew gum. Like, I'm empathetic and I'm it breaks my heart watching this stuff happen. At the same time, we can be funny and laugh, and it's fucking outrageous. And it's not the coronavirus itself, but the video, the band, the song is pretty funny.
You can't get any more over the top and outrageous and be punk rock, man. That's totally punk rock.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because Keith Morris, a friend, and Keith Morris is like, it's a punk song. Like, so like, if it's a punk rock song, dude, it's outrageous. It's like an Angry Samoan Meat Puppets vibe where it's just like, here you go. Like, here's an outrageous fucking song that's very current in the moment. And that's
no
it.
doubt.
So, like, I think it's pretty cool. I like it.
Excellent. So, hey, we're speaking with Joe Nelson here of COVID-19. X-Ignite, you said that you still you hang out with some of the guys from the band and whatnot. And when I say X-Ignite, we're going back 25 years ago. Tell me about how you started that band.
Yeah. So I was in this band called Triggerman, and that was kind of a post-punky emo thing. And my friend Joe Foster, who had played guitar in Unity, but he'd been MIA, he wanted to start a throwback mid-'80s hardcore style, band. And he was a great guitar player and riffs. And so it was such kind of a breath of fresh air. And we did that. I was in that band for about 8 months. It was me, Joe Foster, Brett Rasmussen, who's the sole original member, I guess, left now, and Casey Jones was on drums. At the same time, I was a roadie, so I was touring with like Rage Against the Machine and Quicksand and bands like that. And it was really hard for me to do it full time. And I looked at it as like a project. This would be fun. We'll do like a fucking badass 7-inch of just like old time 80s hardcore. They wanted to be more serious, and eventually we just had to part ways because I was like, I'm on the road, and like I was maybe short-sighted looking at like, my first show was in 1983, so it's like by 1993 when we were starting the band, I'd been 10 years pretty into the scene, and it was kind of like, I don't really want to do this too full time. And then they went off and worked night, which is great. And we've all been friends, like me and Joe Foster. We do a band called Winds, and we've been friends ever since. I'm friends with all those guys. Because it was never drama based. It was more like, hey man, I can't really do this at the level you want to do it. Go grab somebody and go get it,
Yeah, it sounds like an age-old story. I've heard that a million times as a musician myself, So, people move on and, for whatever reason. Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe, I actually got a song by Triggerman lined up, man, so maybe that'll put a smile on your face real quick. You mind if I play it real quick, and then we'll talk about it on the backside? Cool,
okay.
Man. All right. This is Triggerman, loudfastshitty.com.
got up and moved on. The scar remains on display. Get a grip. I can't get a grip. I've never been in love with anyone ever. I've never been in love with anyone. Someone out there has gotta know how to hide your lies when your mouth's all full, because it's getting late in the day. I'm gonna die this way. I'm gonna die this way. All alone. All alone. All alone. All alone. All alone.
Outstanding, man. Loudfastshitty.com. Here on the phone, Joe Nelson. Joe Nelson, COVID-19. Did I do all right on that pick, man? Did you hear it? Or
Yeah, that's why I was wondering what you're gonna pick. I'm like, what Triggerman thing are you gonna pick? So that's a title track of a record we did about 9 years ago. The Triggerman was a band that was from like 1990 to 1995-ish, and then we went on with our lives. And then me and Gavin, who was the guitar player, like got together like 10 years ago. And we're like, oh, we should make a new record. We had old songs that weren't released. Like, so we had a record that came out, and then that was the record. And which is really funny is now I'm finishing mixing this record, a new Triggerman record. I'm mixing that next week. That we'll probably drop it in June at some point. We've been working on that record for like 3 years. So that's like Triggerman's like a recording project at this point. So it's me, Gavin Oglesby, Brett Rasmussen from Ignite, and Derek O'Brien, who was in DI and Social Distortion, the drummer. And like I said, we worked on this new record for about 3 years. And I think it's really good, and I'm pretty self-critical. Like there's like that song, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that one. But the new one I think is gonna be really dope. I think people like it. Like Matt Bronx does vocals on it. Pete Corder from Diagnosty does some vocals on it. It's pretty cool.
Well, make sure we get a copy of whatever yours.
Yeah, you'll get it. You'll get it early.
Outstanding. So. What do you do for do you still play live shows, or are you just more?
I'm in a band called Winds of Promise with Joe Foster from Ignite and Pat Longery, who was a drummer of Uniform Choice, and this guy Mike Kenyon. And we play live. We went to Germany last year. We have a new record that'll come out in fall. Now it was supposed to come out earlier, but because of this COVID-19 stuff, it's been pushed. And we'll probably have to go back to Europe. We're going to go in like October, but we'll probably go to Europe in 2021 now, if everything's okay. And we play live locally. I mean, rarely. Like I'm 50, dude. So it's like I'm all for live playing. People play, and I love music, and I love. The older we get as punkers, I'm like, oh, so now that's what the blues guys are about. Like, you just keep playing. And that's how we kind of are. But I enjoy more of like the creative thing and writing and recording songs than playing live, really. But can't just get away with that. So.
You know, I'm just like you. I'm 50. I'm a lifelong musician who made a podcast. But you know, the art of creating music now has just come such a long way from probably when you started, when I started, and you know, now it's like you can really piece it together. It really is just artwork, you know, and that's what I love the home recording process. And
yeah. Well, I said like the COVID-19 song, the way that came out was wild because like we literally recorded it through a phone. Like it was, I mean, done in GarageBand, but it's like I never in a million years, like one day you're going to be, you know, screaming into your phone while with headphones on while you're looking at listening to it through your computer. Like that's how you're going to do your vocals. It's funny.
That alone is amazing in itself right there, you know. And so you used your phone to record the tracks and bounce them back.
Voicemail, yeah. And which is funny is I live in like a loft kind of vibe down in downtown LA, and I have neighbors. So the first time I did was like a whisper scream. You know what I mean? Like I was like tentative because I didn't want to like. My neighbor's like, what the fuck is this dude doing next to me? Like screaming, I am the coronavirus.
I do the same thing.
Come, like, kick down my door.
Oh, man. That's awesome, man. So your neighbors, they already know you, obviously, but what do they think about that when they hear that? What do you think they think?
Because I live in like a loft building, so the neighbors, some of them are businesses because like, you know, like it's a thing where it's offices and departments. And so I don't really know my neighbors. Like I think there's a guy next to me who's never there. And there's a guy below me whose parties at like 3 a.m, must be like a bartender or something. Cause sometimes at 3 a.m, it's a fucking rager downstairs. So, but I don't know, but you know how it is. Like you're screaming and it's during this lockdown. So it's just quiet everywhere. Like the street, like I live in downtown LA. It's usually noisy as fuck. It's quiet. So I'm like screaming and wondering who's hearing it. So.
Do you think if you hadn't been locked down, you would have had the time to devote to a project where you're just like piecing all this together? Think of all the things that are going to come. Think of all the things that are going to come out of it. You know, hopefully people will come out of it and learn how to play an instrument instead of some electronic shit. Maybe music will come back. You know, punk rock will get revisited because of you. COVID-19.
Well, I think I love the fact that like guys are like Harley Flanagan, love him or hate him, whatever your opinion is. I love the fact he was giving bass lessons online. I thought it was cool because I'm like, yeah, like I would take bass lessons from Harley right now. Like, why not? Like have Harley teach you how to play the bass online. I thought it was righteous.
And he's doing it probably dirt cheap also, right? $15-$20.
Well, he was doing it for free, I think. It's just like this. But I think like that kind of vibe of like, you know, like guys learning an instrument, getting a guitar, going on YouTube and learning scales and shit. Like, why not? Like, you know, like the one thing I would say is like, you know, in California, we'll be locked down probably till the end of May at the earliest. And I imagine it's going to be like that for quite a few people. If you come out of May and you haven't bettered yourself as a person, you haven't used the time to your advantage, you've made a mistake. Because as awful as this is, in some ways, you know, you have a blessing. We've gotten a gift. And I'm sympathetic to people losing their jobs and being broke. And I've lost half my income because of this. So I'm like everyone else, just holding on. But I look at it also as like, hey, man, like, you got time. Like all that, you have time doesn't mean anything for 2 months. And you can work on something, work on a book, work on a painting, like work on just freaking bettering yourself as a human. Like you got to use it and do it in a positive way is what I'm saying.
Man, I like your style, man. That's scary though when you say it because you've already been locked down a month and you're in California and Los Angeles, and you're thinking till the end of May, and you know our president says till the I guess it's our governor until the end of April, and you know you're saying till the end of May, and you know that we're getting ready to get overcome. I'm sure probably more than California did, and wow,
you'll be. I mean, I don't want to alarm anyone, but I just prepared. I look at it as will be the end of May because the end of April for Trump and DeSantis to say the end of April, that's a lot. Those guys having to admit that means it's really probably 2 months. And in California, it's very liberal. Governor's liberal. The mayor of Los Angeles is liberal. And they've been a little bit more like lock everything down, close the schools. There's some backlash to that. But now I look at it, I'm like, you know what, man, like, I wish we all would have done that. I wish we all would have locked this country down in March. And then we would be painfully getting through this, but we could see the light, I think, at this stage.
Well, I definitely like your thought on keeping it positive and coming out on the other side, you know, learning something new about.
Read a book. Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Man, good stuff, man. That's a good segue. Do you know Chris Barrows? I don't know if you know Chris Barrows. He's in a Florida.
I know the name, but I don't know him yet.
Chris was in a band called Pink Lincolns for years down here in Florida, and he's got a new book coming out, and that's one of the things that he's going to have coming out over the coronavirus.
Yep.
So, and he's actually going to be a guest on the show on this episode as well. So,
I'll make sure to support it, man. I love getting guys in the scenes who write books. It's my favorite thing because I think I'm a huge reader and love books and always have, and I just love reading punk guys. Books.
His book is, and I don't know much about it other than it's called Cheap Shots, and it's photos that he took over the course of his musical career,
right.
probably with those little cheap, cardboard, cameras that you used to buy at like, the grocery store or whatever, and and he's got, it's just just super famous people in their like most humblest of surroundings, so yeah,
that's
cool
dope.
book. Looking forward
I'll
to
check it.
hearing about that one too.
Yeah.
So, one of the common denominators, talking with you mentioned with your projects is Ignite. Did you guys go to school together? You guys just bros from way back, Yeah,
I mean, I'm from Huntington Beach. I grew up in Huntington Beach. We were all straight. I was a straight edge kid in high school, and I'm an 80s punker. So, like, Uniform Choice and Unity and Instead No for an Answer, they were the straight edge bands in Orange County. And when I got into punk rock, I got into punk rock first, and then I became straight edge. I'm not straight edge anymore. But, like, that straight edge scene at the time, there's like 50 dudes maybe total in Southern California, and we were one of them. And then when Ignite formed, I was like 22, 23, and it was just kind of like, it's a different vibe. You try to do a band like in your early 20s, so there was a lot of we've just been friends. I'm kind of rambling there, but the point is like it felt like a fun time to do a band together because you were all kind of young dudes then, kind of, you're not, your world's opened up once you graduate high school.
So I got a track that we'll play on the backside of this, which was from your time in Ignite. So that's cool stuff. What about the? You still have a record label?
Well, I never had. Well, so I never had a record label.
Okay, so what was it? Because I swear it was referred to as that. And I know you know what I'm talking about. So help me out. But Know Your Rights.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's what I thought you were talking about. Sorry. So Know Your Rights. There's a guy named Matt Pincus. He's a bass player, Judge from New York. It's a hardcore band, and he's been in the music business his whole life too. He was in the publishing side. Know Your Rights is a nonprofit publishing company that we do together to help punk musicians, mainly guys from the 80s who never had their publishing in order, go get their set up their publishing for free, and then go help them get streaming revenues from Spotify. Just getting their shit organized. And what's happened from that, like, it's pretty on the down low, man. But there's a record label coming out of that soon. And you will hear about it within the next 6 weeks. You'll hear about it. And I can't say anything because I have to wait for the ink to dry on a couple of these things. But it's going to be really righteous and cool. And I will come back to you when it's time to talk about that. Not to be that fucking jerk who's like, can't tell you about the secret, but I'm just bound by contract not to discuss the bands and labels we're acquiring to make this thing work.
I appreciate the top secret, because you say you're going to let us know about it when the time
is
right.
It sucks to say, like, hey, man, I'm sorry, guys, I can't tell you about my record label. But I can't. But in about probably a month, they'll be able to announce. I'll make sure you know about it. I'll tell you offline. You'll be stoked.
Cool. Well, hey, I got another question for you. And you know, I was just kind of like looking for some things to talk about and chit chat about. Did you used to manage the Aquabats?
Yes, man. You're deep diving. Yes, I did.
Tell me about that, man. I mean, the Aquabats.
Yeah.
I've always enjoyed them, not so much as a band, but because they wear masks. And a little bit about me, as I play in a band that wears a mask. Shh, don't tell anybody. And by the way, that's the age of being fit. That's the secret of being 50 and being.
It helps, dude. It's genius when you get older. If you have a costume, like that's why Kiss put the makeup back on. Makes fucking perfect sense.
So the Aquabats. How did you get involved, and what was your involvement?
It's a really. I mean, so I was I lived in Chicago for a bit, and I worked for Victory Records. And I was married. I got a divorce, and I moved back to LA. This is 2001-ish, 2002, and I had nothing going on. I was driving a forklift at night with a buddy who was a singer of a band called Mind Over 4, which is kind of a prog rocky thing from LA that was cool. And Christian Jacobs, who's the lead singer of the Aquabats, he was working with us too as a graveyard shift driving forklifts because he was trying to earn some extra money because the Aquabats were in a lull and Yo Gabba Gabba, which he created, hadn't started yet. And we just became fast friends. And these late night fork driving, I mean, just me and him in like this 200,000 square foot warehouse loading up trucks with our fucking forklifts and making each other laugh and talking and scheming and planning. And from that, we had about a 2-3 year run with the Aquabats. They did the record Charge. We got over to Europe. Like it was fun. Me and him are still fast friends, still great. But yeah, I managed bands for about 3 years, and that was my main one.
Now, was that any of that time when Bobcat Goldthwait was involved, or was
he was involved earlier? So the Aquabats in the late '90s had a hit called Super Rad. That's when Travis was in the band. Right before Travis joined Blink-182, Travis Barker, he was the drummer of the Aquabats. They had a little bit of a run. There was one of those bands because they're so gimmicky and original that immediately blew up in LA as a great live band. You gotta go see the Aquabats because it's outrageous, costumes and monsters and just crazy visuals. And then they were in a lull. Travis left. They got this kid Ricky Fallon, Ricky Fitness, to play drums with a great drummer. But they just weren't doing anything. There's no record deals. It was just a weird time. This is like 2001, 2002. 2003, so it's just kind of like they were trying to jumpstart their thing because punk rock, if you remember, like kind of the punk, they're from a ska scene, but that all kind of died out at the end of the 90s. Like, so it was really hard for them to restart the career. But Dexter from The Offspring had Nitro Records, and we're all friends with that dude, and it was Christian, and they took a chance and put out a record, and the Aquabats were off and running again, and they're still going strong, man. Like you never seen the Aquabats? The music, to your point, Bob, the music doesn't really matter. It's the pageantry of it's fantastic. It's the funnest live show. It's so weird, but great.
At this point, they probably deserve a run in Vegas. Just because.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so theatrical and weird. It's kind of. Not like it's Blue Man Group or anything, but it's the Aquabats. Like you said, it's all that.
I mean, they've had a TV show. Like Christian from the Aquabats came Yo Gabba Gabba, which was a pretty popular kids show in the 2000s, 2010s. And then they had the Aquabat show. Those guys go strong. I don't know what they do in Florida, but I know in LA they're good for 1,500 to 2,000 people a show. Like they still got they can still do it.
I got to say, in Florida, I don't think I've ever known the Aquabats to come around. I've always been aware of them, and maybe they came through on a Warped Tour back in the day, but who knows? Yeah.
I think it's right. I think because I think even when we were routing those tours, as being a Floridian, like you got to be able to play Atlanta. If you're doing a proper tour and routing, you really got to be able to play one of the Carolinas or Atlanta, and then you have to get Pensacola, Tampa, Orlando, Miami. You have to be able to get like 3 or 4 cities in Florida because it's so big to make that little dip down south worthwhile. Otherwise, you go straight across and you're in Memphis, New Orleans, and on your way back west.
You could spend almost a week in Tampa in Florida if you wanted to.
For sure.
Depends where you're at. We're down here in Tampa, so
it's funny, man. Like, so where you are, I toured with a band called Instead, which is the straight edge hardcore band from Orange County. And on that Florida tour, I'll never forget when we played Tampa. It was a split. It was a show where the straight edge hardcore bands played the matinee, and then there was a freaking night show of like, darker music. And on that night show flyer was Marilyn Manson as an opening band. And I remember looking at that flyer going like, that's a fucking great name for a band opening it was like a, like a gloom metal or dark, death metal kind of vibe. But De La Soul was playing down the street, and we were like, let's go see De La Soul. And I didn't stay for the freaking show, and I would have loved to, because like, could you imagine seeing Marilyn Manson open? Like, it would have been weird. So
well, I actually saw Marilyn Manson back in the day. In my old band, we played shows with him. We traded shows in Fort Lauderdale, and it was Marilyn Manson and the Spooky Kids. And
Oh, that was your band, Spooky Kids?
No. That's what Marilyn Manson was before he was solo as Marilyn Manson. It was Marilyn Manson and the Spooky Kids, and then it evolved.
How were those shows? Like, how were those early shows?
Oh, definitely over the top and like I said, gothic. Everything was black and just very sad and gloomy and broody. And I mean, we were more of like definitely much heavier. But we traded shows out in the early days, and they quickly outgrew us. And obviously, but hey, there you go.
Right? More power to them, but yeah. They had a great name. Marilyn Manson's a great name for a band.
And I believe that all their band members were named after like a famous supermodel and a famous serial killer. So they would combine the first and the last name, like Marilyn Monroe, Charles Manson, Daisy Berkowitz, which anyway,
that's amazing.
Going back in the day, right there, man.
Yeah. I'll never forget that, because I just never forget that flyer, and I remember just going, "Whoa, that's a great name for a band."
I got one more thing for you. Before you tell me, I hear you like cats.
We like looking at my Instagram. Was that my reputation?
That's your reputation, dude. Have you seen Tiger King? That's my segue.
Oh yeah, of course.
Because that shit happened like right down the street here. It's like literally Big Cat Rescue is 3 miles away from my house.
Oh, shut up! Really?
Yeah.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
That bitch Carol Baskin did it, man. I tell you what.
Killed her husband, dude. Fuck Carol Baskin. She fucking killed her husband. That is fucking obvious.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny. That's my cat. I have 2 cats, and I like my cats. I take pictures of them. That's a true story, and I put them on Instagram sometimes. But I'm not as bad as Arthur Smilios from Gorilla Biscuits, who plays bass. If you follow Arthur Smilios, he loves his cats more than me, and that's a fact. So he's number 1. I'm number 2 in cat love.
I got 1 dog, 2 cats. So I like
you got it.
I like cats.
You get it.
I ain't gonna lie. But for $2,000 you can get a fucking tiger. Did you know that?
I fucking hate that movie, that documentary. Me and my girlfriend watch it, and at the very last episode, I'm like, "Oh, there's not one person in this documentary I like." I've just watched this documentary, and all these people are loathsome to me. Like, it's a fascinating watch. It's worth the 7 episodes.
Definitely. Oh man, so what you got for me? You got any good parting words?
I mean, look, I love that we do the podcast thing. It keeps us connected, and like we're all in this weird time together. And the one thing about being in our tribe of punk rockers and stuff is like, if you're a punk rocker or you're a hardcore dude or a metal dude or just a fucking misfit, we're all tapped in the same frequency. Like, we're all part of this. So like, you can only control so much, but like, stay true to your community of your where you're from, and understand that when this is over, we're going to be back up together. Like, go support local bands more, get out more, be more involved with your community, whatever your passion is. I know it's more philosophical than parting words, but I just think, like, back to my point, we got to come out of this experience and learn something from it and better ourselves from it. You can't let the experience dictate us. We have to dictate the experience. And that's all I got. And watch COVID-19.
COVID-19 taking over the world, man. Joe Nelson, man.
Look out.
It's been great talking with you, man. I love the work that you've done, so much, and you're a very talented man, man. Keep it up, and I look forward to hearing more stuff from you with everything that you got coming on. So, we're friends. Keep in touch.
All right, brother. Good talking to you, man.
I have a competition in me. I want no one else to succeed. I hate most people.
It starts out as a runny nose and maybe as a throat. Pretty soon you're coughing with that finger in your mouth. If you're sick or wrong, you're vulnerable the most. 'Cause I'm the coronavirus, motherfucker. Wash your hands. The coronavirus. I am the coronavirus. I am the
loudfastshitty.com. Bob Noxious hanging out here with Olga and Diste of the Svetlanas. How's it going? Welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Show us those pearly whites, Olga. Nice smile, nice smile. You guys are in Milan, Italy, and squeeze in a little bit so you're in the camera. You guys are in Milan, Italy, and kind of like me and the rest of the world, you've been locked inside. How long have you guys been locked up in your house for?
It's now a month.
A month?
Yeah, a full month, yeah.
You guys going stir crazy yet?
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes, yes. It's not so easy, but we can survive. And you guys you stay at home for real? Because I saw a lot of pictures of my friends and other bands, but it looks like that no one is for real at home. So I mean, everyone is playing around, everyone go to the shop, but not to the groceries or to the pharmacies. What do you think?
It's a different day and age, you know. It's I guess this is the new way, right? You know. So what have you guys been doing to keep busy? Are you working on new music? I know you have a new record that came out.
Yeah, it's we have a new record that is just coming out.
Yeah, it just came out last month in March, the middle of March the 13th to be correct.
And yes, we are working on new stuff, but we are pretty busy too because we are at home, but we have also our son at home. So you know, with our children, everyone is very busy here.
Yep. So, are you working on like new videos or new video ideas? And you know, so while you're at home and you got nothing better to do, are you working on new music?
Okay. We are not working on videos because we cannot shoot any videos.
Right.
No, because the other two guys lives in two different apartments, so we can't go out for real. There are a lot of militaries, there are a lot of police, so we stay at home for real, and we can't do lots of stuff.
So that's the idea of the lockdown is there's no movement and you're trying to keep the virus away.
Yeah.
What about for necessary supplies? Are the groceries open or is it delivered to you?
We can go out buy food at the grocery shops and go to the pharmacy basically. That's all.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going down here now. It's so weird, you know. It's like used to being so free to move about and do whatever you want to do, and I hope this ends soon. So, is the lockdown working in Italy for you guys?
Now, yes. We had a very hard situation in the last weeks, and we had 800 deaths for day. And then now the situation is better. So please, guys, use the brain and stay at home. Don't go out for anything.
Stay at home.
Please.
Yeah. Just because we want to go out and play as soon as we can. So please do it.
Yeah.
So
we can promote our new album too.
Do you have any idea how much longer it's going to be? Is there any kind of a common discussion that's going on amongst your neighbors? Like, oh, maybe in a few weeks or maybe in a month, or is there a date that you guys are circling on the calendar that you hope
Yesterday for us, it was the last day of lockdown, but now they decide to do
more days. I think it will be like 2 more weeks probably, and then we will see.
After Easter, they told that it will be probably after Easter or in the middle of May for us here.
I can't wait to see how things are going to be different, you know, when we come back out of this. And, you know, hopefully I'm really hoping, as much as I've seen online of people missing shows and whatnot and going to shows, I'm really hoping that it'll be a resurgence of music and people going out to see music. And I mean, you guys have a great new record that you put out, and you can't even do anything with it yet other than, you know, talk about it on this podcast, you know. You got to tour that thing, and you got to make sure that the world hears it.
Yeah.
So you have a new video for Karma Soldier. Tell me about that, because I'm going to play it here in a minute.
So we have 3 new videos.
Yeah, we have 3 new videos. He will play Karma Soldier now, and
Jump
I
is
think
another one.
Jump is another one, and All I See Is Red is the third one.
I will look that one up. I have 2 of those, so I'll get that that third one, and we'll make sure that we play them all here, so everybody has a chance to see it, and hopefully you'll share it, and everybody will get a chance to hear what's going on with the Svetlanas.
Why did you lie to me, abilities? We'll beat your politics.
So, okay, so we talked about the record. We talked about this virus and whatnot. Well, let's talk about what you're doing for the homeless and trying to raise some money. What's the story with that?
Okay, during this pandemic event, homeless people can't stay home because they don't have any home, and they don't know where to get food. So there is the Red Cross here in Italy that helps these guys, and
we wanna offer our help to the guys that need help for real. So for us, it's not the right moment for sell our merch. It's not the right moment for sell our new album, because it will be the right period. Now we need to be humans, and we need to support each other.
Yeah, to help.
Yeah. So if you can go to our website and you can bid, or if you want, you can open the link and you can donate for free not for some objects, some Svetlanas objects, but just for love to the people, for support, and we put the link, and you can donate directly for them.
Yeah, to the Red Cross.
So if you go to the Svetlanas.com, what happens is when you pull the screen up, there's a pop-up that will allow you to go to the link to the Red Cross where you can donate and do it for the Svetlanas, do it for Italy, do it for the world. I mean, let's just help everybody out. Homelessness really is a problem here in Florida where I'm at. And I know you guys have been here. You've probably seen it. And what are they doing with the homeless in Italy right now with the pandemic the way that it was? Are they putting up tents, or what is going on with the donations that go to the Red Cross?
Oh, they had these guys with food. They provide food.
They provide to a location, a place where they can stay in this moment, because at the beginning it was crazy. Some the police arrested someone of them because they are on the road.
Yeah, you have to stay home. You cannot stay home, but I don't have any home.
So yes,
so stupid, just stupid. So yes, they really need support and help from as many people as possible. You know?
So you guys,
maybe there is some American bands that can do the same for the homeless there.
Absolutely.
So if there are a lot of bands, it will be awesome.
Yeah.
You know, if the bands can help out the world, you know, that just makes it that much better and that much sweeter. You know, if we can help out with that, absolutely.
And you don't have to be a band to help someone else. You can be just a
podcast,
a person, if you can, of course.
Anybody can, and we all should. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the new music. Is
Nick
in
the album?
Yeah, the new album. I've seen the new videos, and I saw that Nick kind of teased it. Is he playing on the record, or is he just, you know, whenever he can, plays along with you guys?
He's singing on the radio, doing the backing voice and singing with Olga.
Yeah. And in all the songs of the new record.
In every song.
How did you guys?
Yeah, because he's in the lineup. We live in different country, but we are friends. So we work together. The last time that he came in Italy with Mondo Generator last month.
Yeah, a couple
of months ago. We recorded that video. So we try to meet each other in around the world, so we can go ahead and work on some projects and some new songs.
How did you guys meet Nick, as far as that goes? Just, I mean, you're friends, and how did you meet him, and how did you convince him to go on the road with you and do fun videos? I mean, obviously you're friends, but how did you meet him? Tell us that story.
We met him during a tour we did with the Dwarves some years ago.
In Europe,
and
he became a fan of us. So he asked us if he can join us on the stage for a couple of songs during this tour.
And it was like a dream for me, for all of us.
For me, for Steve too, yes, for everyone. So we started to play in the tour together, and after this, the communication went ahead. So he asked us if he can be part of the band, but we also have Steve as bass player. So when we play together, we play with two bass, or he sings. So it depends. It's very natural.
Yeah, it's family business.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a permanent bass player that you normally use, and you just bring Nick in whenever he can? And if that's the case, how do you tell your main guy that, hey, bro, you got to sit this one out?
No, he's very friendly with Nick too.
Yeah.
I mean, we all, it's a collaboration, so it's not like a competition.
I got you, and that makes sense. But how cool would it be if you had a lead bass player and a rhythm bass player?
No, it's fun. We did it when we played in Los Angeles some years ago. We did like 10 shows with the two bassists. It was fun. Crazy.
Yeah.
That is
sounds very happy.
Yeah.
What's that, Olga?
The sound became very loud and heavy. We have two bass.
Hey, you know our show, loud, fast. You know that's how we like it. Loud, fast, and shitty, right? Hey, I forgot to mention this. So part of what you guys are doing with trying to raise money for the homeless is you were doing an online auction where you're auctioning off goods. Now, you're a joker, Olga, because you played an April Fool's Day joke on everybody, and it was kind of funny. But tell us about some of the things that you're auctioning off.
Okay, we have a handmade doll of Olga, representing Olga, that we used in the video. It's just one piece, and so we are very. I mean, they are all objects that we love.
What's the going price for the doll that's in the video? And by the way, we're going to play that video. Is that in the Jump video?
Jump.
Yeah. So we're going to play Jump, by the way, as well. But what's the going dollar on that, and when is the auction finally over?
What is it? Sorry.
The final. You asked us the final.
So how much money is the doll worth currently? What's the current bid?
The current bid, I think it's like
50
55,
55
should
something
be.
like that.
Okay, and when's when is the last day of the auction?
Oh, you can find everything on the website. Let me see.
Yes,
maybe
let me
next.
know. That's what I'm
Probably
asking.
next week. The doll, yes, the auction of the doll will finish next week. I think.
Sometime next week.
Yes.
So you
Yeah.
you got the doll. You have a Pulp Fiction piece that you did for Olga, Diste.
Yeah.
Crazy things I do sometimes.
Yeah, for it was my son Valentine's gift. Yeah.
So it's personal. So it's definitely things that you guys love, things that it means. And so now back to your April Fool's Day joke. Did you get people on that? You said that you were trying to buy a pair of tits for yourself, and that was the reason for raising money. Well, it's actually raising money for the homeless, but if you had enough, you're going to get tits. Now, obviously not needed in a joke, but can we still get the signed silicone test implants?
Yeah.
Is that actually something we can purchase?
No, of course not.
Not the boob job, just the silicone implants that are autographed that you give to us. Yeah, you're funny. I bet you got some people wound up with that one. So what else? As we wrap this up and we play some more videos for our listeners, what can we expect from the Svetlanas coming out of this lockdown?
After this, we can wait to start playing.
Yes.
We were supposed to do a tour in Spain, but it will be cancelled very soon, I guess.
Yeah,
we were
because it will be in 2 weeks, so yes, it will be cancelled. And we cancelled the punk rock bowling, but we will be back next year. And we are working on lots of new tour. We are working on a Mexican tour,
cool.
But for the moment, everything is postponed.
Yeah, we can't really schedule anything for real. I mean, we can plan, but not confirm anything for the moment. But we will be able to do it soon if everyone stays home.
What do you guys do when you travel out of your home country and whatnot? Are you borrowing other people's gear, or do you take just a guitar and a head and your snare? How much gear do you guys travel with?
Depends. When we are in Europe, we have all our gear. We travel with a van, so it's easy.
Yeah.
When we are on the other side of the planet, we may rent gear.
But we never rent gear because we have a lot of friends. So there are some friends that help us every time.
Nick is one of these.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Nick.
So you can plan, but nothing's set in stone yet. You're going to go to Mexico. What about the States? Are you going to come into the States again?
Yeah, but we were supposed to play the punk rock bowling, and that was the only option. But I don't know. I think yes, definitely we will.
Yes, next year we will play the show at the punk rock bowling. So we will see each other in next May.
Yeah, we will see each other.
I can't wait to see you guys again. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
So we can drink something together.
We can drink lots together. Oh, you've got the Corona. Hold on. Let me find something to toast you with here. I got to go to my collection. What am I drinking today? Oh, you know what? Because I'm in a weird mood. Check this out.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Have you guys had that one?
Yeah.
Iron Maiden's The Trooper.
Yeah.
So you're drinking a Corona. Is it on sale over there by the case?
No, because I was very sorry that no one buy the Corona now. So I want some beers and I try to support the less.
It's still beer, right? Just drink the Corona. Maybe it's keeping the coronavirus away.
Maybe yes.
Who knows?
Hey, I just spoke with.
You are a genius.
I just spoke with this guy.
You found the solution, maybe.
That is the solution. What if that was the solution? Corona with a lime gets rid of that coronavirus. I just spoke with this guy, Joe Nelson, and he did a video called I Am the Coronavirus. Have you guys seen that video yet?
No.
You're going to when you watch the show.
Video.
What an amazing video. He's in a band called COVID-19.
Yeah.
And they say that they're one-hit wonders, and it's called "I Am the Coronavirus." Wait till you see it. It's amazing. You're gonna love it. And this time, it's written from the angle of the songwriter is the coronavirus.
Okay, nice. Nice idea.
You'll see.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to play some more videos here, and I want to thank everybody for listening in tonight, and thank you for the Svetlanas, Diste, Olga, for being a part of the show tonight on episode 385.
Thank you for your time, and thank you for support us.
We love you guys.
We love you too.
What? You gonna step to this? Oh, you know what time it is?